Minefield Publishing, the place where you unleash your creative genius. Write the book you've always dreamed of. Tell that unique story of yours. Minefield Publishing is a place to be for both online and print publishing. Welcome to Minefield Publishing Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn live interview. Meet your host, Edentu Oroso, the author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, Titan Race.
Good afternoon from Nigeria. Good evening in the Philippines. Today is another great day, and I'm your regular host, Edentu Oroso. I have with me a very special friend. I call her my sister from another mother. She is a TV host, 6-time best-selling author, a book coach, and so many other things. I'm going to read her resume for you. She was instrumental to my becoming a #1 Amazon best-selling author with my science fiction fantasy Titan Race. And she was also instrumental to so many other authors becoming Amazon best-selling authors. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Gutierrez. My
Thank you
sister,
so
you're welcome.
much. Mabuhay from the Philippines, maayong gabi from where I live. It's a Cebuano language. And that was awesome. I love that trailer.
Thank you, thank you. Let me quickly talk about the bio of Gutierrez. She is a multi-awarded author and co-author of several poetry books, including the titles Evocare, A Collection of Tanka, Bards from the Far East, Anthology of Haiku and Kindred verses, Zephyrs, Amalgam, Transcendence, and Anthology of Human Thought, then the Crosshairs, A Promise of Those, and Scentsibility. Her poetry has appeared in various international anthologies, ezines, and literary journals. Her debut poetry collection entitled Yearnings, a collected poetry, has achieved Amazon best-selling status in July 2020. The foreword of the book was written by the multi-awarded Filipino-American author, editor, poet, and publisher Ellen R. Boyce, whom Ayo cherishes for being her mentor. Ayo is also the co-author of 3 best-selling motivational books entitled Almost is the Same as Never, second edition, which she co-wrote with her husband, Edwin. And her husband, Edwin. Tuesday, Life is a Matter of Choice with Amanda Butts, Bartholomew, and James Osorio Fato. And are you ready? And so many others. Today is my singular honor to be chatting with this great woman, this great writer, and a friend who has made so much impact in my life. Let me begin. Today is a birthday, so friends around the world, help me say a very warm, happy birthday to Ayo. Today is our 40th birthday. How does it feel to be 40, Ayo?
Well, I wasn't, hiding my age. I actually revealed it and broadcasted it to the world. How does it feel to become 40? It's great. It's just that my life, what they keep telling us, life begins at 40. It's really true. And it's just life is so good. Especially this year, the pandemic, there have been lots of opportunities, and I'm seeing life in a different perspective. And I am just, my world is just open to a bigger world there is in, all of this wonderful collaborations, being with great writers such as yourself, and having all of this interesting and creative going on around us just keep me inspired. So it's great.
Well, you don't look 40, you look like 25.
Thank you. We're gonna eat. I'm gonna cook adobo for you and your family. But I guess it's about. I guess it's about choosing to be happy and taking good care of yourself. Self love. It's important, and I'd like to say that it's extremely important for married women like me. We have a lot of roles to take on. You're a wife, you're a mother. So a lot of I keep a day job, and it's keeping me busy as well. So I really have to be sure that I do the basic regimen of that skincare and everything. But Other than that, it's really about your attitude and perspective towards life.
Yeah, you just preempted me. I was going to ask, in so short a time, you've carved a niche for yourself as a book coach, a best-selling author, a TV host, entrepreneur, and so many other things. I was just going to ask, how do you balance all this in the midst of those duties or passions that are divided, sort of kind of divide your day?
Well, several years ago, I attended a powerful seminar, and the speaker from Franklin Covey actually talked about, there's no time management. We just cannot really manage time because it's the same for you and for everyone else. But what we manage really are the activities that we do for a certain time. So there is no such thing as keeping it balanced, but there's this also one speaker when came to the country in our church, and he talked about having, this a lot of balls you're spinning in your hand, so that when it's working, let's say your role as a mother, it's already spinning. Then that's the time for you to also spin the other roles that you have in your community, in your church, and so many things. And I'm also a fan of a lot of this. Uh, there's books that tell us about how we're going to manage ourselves and our time and everything, especially the book Essentialism, doing more with less. And I guess that I was able to really focus on the things that are extremely important to me. We have this hierarchy of priorities or goals in life, so not all goals are created equal. There are some things that I need to drop, and there are things that I need to focus on. So for me, it's more about identifying which are really my priorities in life. And the things that are important to us are the things that we give time. So if it's really important to me and I know that it's going to impact my life, not just today, but in the future, I do that. So that there's also this book, The 40s of Execution. The author tells us that, if you are overwhelmed with a lot of things to do, the to-do list in a day or in a week, all you need to do is just ask yourself, what is your wildly important goal? So he calls it WIG, wildly important goal. And before the day unfolds before you, you got to think about, what is this one thing? If I only have one day to live, what is that one thing that I needed to do? And then, forget about the rest, but you need to accomplish that one wildly important goal for the day. So that's how I roll as a person.
Essentially, it's about goal setting.
Essentialism is great. He actually is the, some say after Stephen Covey, then we have, what's the name of the author? It slipped my mind. Later, I
Yeah,
remember.
setting smart goals is very important. It must be specific, measurable, actionable, time bound, and stuff like that. Something that is something that is within feasible, something you can actually achieve. Smart goals is important if you want to achieve those things in life. Well, that takes me to the next question. So you've been involved in a number of international collaborations, book collaborations, and have produced bestsellers across the world. Sometimes I wonder how you're able to bring all those great writers around the world and then we say, okay, let's come up with a collaboration. What is the magic behind it?
Aha. Okay. For me, collaboration is both a skill and an art. But above everything else, it's really your attitude. It's about being genuine to other people. When I was young, and I heard about, we studied geography, right? And we talked about different countries. It's just something that's just abstract to me. I didn't know that there were other countries that existed, only in our lessons. But when I started to grow up, and I realized, there's this diversity and there is this richness and different cultures, and so I became more drawn to it. And so when I started about 3 years ago, and I don't know, it's just something that I was drawn to it. It's like a magnet. I really want to work with people. Perhaps it's because of my orientation as well, and the kind of jobs that I had after college. I was exposed to different nationalities, and the roles that I in my jobs actually entail these interactions, not just locally but internationally. So for me, my first book, which is here, because this is where it started. My journey started here, Bards from the Far East. There you go. For me, it's a very beautiful book. It's not perfect. In fact, I received a 1 star of this one on Amazon because when I uploaded the ebook, it was so messy. But I learned my lesson. But anyhow, able to bring in about 17 authors worldwide, and most of them are Filipinos and Filipino American authors. We also have one Japanese who writes haiku because this is a collection of haiku. So that's when I started to really feel that I want to do anthologies. I really want to meet a lot of writers. And you know the feeling again to when you're just starting. I don't know how it was for you, but for me, I was so a bit insecure and I felt inadequate that writing alone will not really make it. I
Make
won't
an
make
impact.
Sure. Yeah, so I started to really try to learn from people. So I took them as mentors. For example, Mom Eileen Artavios, my mentor. She is my teacher. She's really good, an award-winning Filipino American author, editor, and she's coming up with her own novel in the next month, I guess. But that's how it unfolded to me, and I was so happy that I started learning from different authors, their styles, their approaches to writing, their discipline, and all. So I just enjoy everything around collaboration.
Awesome. I'm chatting with Gutierrez, TV host, best-selling author, entrepreneur, publisher. Yeah, that's an aspect I'm going to pick you up on. Your publishing, GMJ publishing, publisher, and so many other things. Now, tell us, GMJ publishing is making a lot of waves around in the publishing industry. How did it begin for you?
Well, when I started doing the anthology, and these books are actually turning out to be great, and I have all of these authors coming to me, aspiring authors, at that time, and they wanted to become published, but somehow they lack the resources and somehow they just didn't know no technical know-how. So that's when it started that I started helping writers to become a published authors. But of course our time is limited, so I thought hard about it. If I could just do several anthologies and have these people, by audition, of course they would have to submit because we are all up for quality, because even if you have the numbers but it's not quality, it's not going to make it. So that's how it started for me. And I didn't realize that to this day, there are more than 300 writers that actually came under under the umbrella of GMJ Publishing.
Hmm.
We did, we
That's
did two together, remember? No, we did three. And then two, we had Yearning, so we're part of it.
yes, I was part of the innings.
Were you part of
Transcendence.
Crosshairs? In the
I was part
Crosshairs?
of the innings. I was part of in the Crosshairs. I was part of
In the,
Transcendence.
yeah, in
And
the
I think all of and then Scentsibility. You and I
Transcendence.
edited Scentsibility that became an Amazon bestseller within 24 hours of thereabout.
I
And
knew
I
it.
was
You're my brother.
all thanks to you for giving me the platform. I, I just said it earlier on that you were instrumental to my becoming a number one Amazon bestselling author. The push you gave me an interview for 1 hour on your platform, and then with the Poetry League, the School of the Poetry League, we pushed it around the world, and it became the number one. Title Rate became one Amazon bestselling author. At a point, we almost gave up hope, but I said, no, don't
You
give
were
up hope.
fighting with number one.
It's a great feeling, actually. And a lot of people will ask you, where are the millions? The millions are on the way. It's coming. We are all still striving to get there. Now, that takes me to GMJ Publishing, back to GMJ Publishing. Yes, you publish a
Yeah,
number of authors, and they're all doing well. Most of them are bestsellers. You have a
yeah.
Midas touch. What is the
Well,
secret?
no, yeah. Well, it's because personally, I went through the hardships. When I was starting here, I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. So I did a lot of trial and error, that kind of thing, and followed successful authors, enlisted in their email listing, and then listened to podcasts, things like that. So I did everything I could. I even invested a lot of money just to learn, just to do, uncover all of these secrets. And then I realized that I could be of service to others as well, just by, because they are really good in writing, but they don't have the platform. I don't know how to start. So I think that you know, it came out naturally, and then helping each other, that's very important. And following through with their dreams and setting up some systems in place and strategies. You really have to have strategies as an author. You just don't have an idea of a book and then you throw it out there. You know how things are when you just don't think hard about what you're going to write, how you're going to design it, how you're going to edit it. This is something very basic, but often neglected by newbie authors. And they think that this will just do. But for me, my my motto here, my tagline really here is about quality. You have to do it right the first time. And if you really want to ink your legacy, that's the tagline of J&J Publishing. Then you have to exert an effort to make sure that it's a quality book that you will produce. Otherwise, they will just they will suffer the same fate of millions of books on Amazon. You'll just be, at the bottom of the this huge pile of books. I mean, digitally speaking, right? So yeah, and now I saw the opportunity as well. I thought that's just like what you did with Mindfield Publishing. Of course, thinking long term, I decided to just establish it formally because I already have my company, which is GMJ Entertainment Productions. So it's just another one of the things that I do. And I said, let's just establish this one, GMJ Publishing, since I'm already here and this is my passion. This is, I know, I'm learning, still learning, but I'd like to say that I know a lot of the trade. I know a lot of the things that are happening when you are self-publishing. So yeah, just sharing, passing on what I know.
Viewers out there, I'm chatting with Gutierrez of the Philippines, a publisher of the founder of GMJ Publishing. We'll be right back after this time.
Minefield Publishing, the place where you unleash your creative genius. Write the book you've always dreamed of. Tell that unique story of yours. Minefield Publishing is a place to be for both online and print publishing. Welcome to Minefield Publishing Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn live interview. Meet your host, Edentu Oroso, the author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, Titan Race.
Welcome back. I have with me in the studio today Aya Gutierrez, the one and only book coach in the Philippines. The next question. Recently, you posted something about the writer's block, the concept that you're coming up with your husband. What is it about?
Yeah, the writer's block. It's a book themed mini park property. It's a hub for writers. I was dreaming of building this one about a decade ago. The details were not so clear at that time. But moving on, I just wanted, when you retire, when we all retire, we wanted this kind of peaceful, tranquil life. So I was waiting for a place where I could really be writing all the time when I grew old. And so it dawned on me, so why not also make this something accessible to people, not really like a public, but something that is specifically designed to creatives, writers, painters, and the like. So my husband and I decided to really pursue this goal. And thankfully, this year, it happened. We were able to acquire a property, and we already had the plan drafted by the architect. So the idea is, of course, there will be lots of books, like all genres, and there will be places where they will stay. So it's pretty like a hub for anyone who wants to just go there, read, or probably write, create something. And this is the first in the country. That's why I'm so excited about it. There are some models relating to a cafe, but this one, you will see the design is totally different. The offering is different, and I love that. It we're going to involve the rest of the kids because I have a son who's so fond of the ants, and he wanted to build his own ant colony there. He's watching Ants Canada. If I don't know if you know that show, so he keeps studying about the ants, and he said, "Mom, can I earn money by just having this museum of ants?" And I told him, "Why not? If you will be there and you're going to give them a tour and then tell them what kind of ant is this one." So I'm giving them, planting some ideas to their minds because this is already the passion of the family. My husband writes, I write. My son already published his haiku book, and my daughter is already writing her short stories. So why not make it a family affair? And I love the energy. I love the excitement of each and every one in the family. They really want to pursue this. So hopefully, brother, hopefully, um, towards the end of 2021. It's all done. We're going to open up to people. And the other thing about this is that I want to really invite writers. I don't know, probably invite you sometime. Come
Well,
over and then let's have a
that would be nice. That would be my
so
first
that's the
time in the
vision.
Philippines.
That's
All
the
right,
vision.
if the writer, awesome. I'm all for it. I'm game. Yes, you invite me, I'll definitely be there. Because that's an opportunity to get to know the Philippines and maybe tour one or two cities and get to meet you in person. You've been a sister I never had.
I'm
Okay.
gonna lay a
Hey,
red carpet.
huh?
I'm gonna lay a red carpet when you descend it.
No. I don't think I deserve a red carpet. Well,
But then,
if you say so. Okay. You were talking about the writer's blog, the theme, book hub. Is it free? How much are people expected to pay? Are there accommodations? How many people are you expecting?
we're still deciding on this one, but we want to keep it to, because we don't want it to be really public. It's going to be something that's intended for certain number of people. So we're still deciding on how much, but there will be a membership program so that they can just go there anytime. Also, set a day within the week where you can just have all these tours, probably from schools, students wanting to go because they're looking for educational tours such as this, and that's one thing that I saw an opportunity for us to offer something different. So it comes with a fee that comes with some souvenirs, and you're gonna stay there and some other stuff. So we're still designing, although the concept is already there, how we want to roll out, but you know every day there's just a lot of things going on. The kids would come up with certain ideas, and then we'll say, okay, let's accommodate, let's do that. So but it's going to be one thing for sure is that this is going to be a special place for anyone who wants to unleash, I love your tagline, their creative genius. Yeah, a place to think, a place to be creative and just be quiet. And yeah, let's say it's a treat for the artist in you wanting to come out. So yeah.
Are you tying in the book hub with your coaching programs now? Because I'm aware you have some coaching programs, book coaching programs. What are they about? Are you tying the coaching programs with the book hub?
Oh, definitely. That's the place where I'm going to have this, classes as well. And there's going to be a place for holding book launches for other authors. Well, basically, there's going to be a part of the property where I'll be displaying. There's this JJ publishing office there, of course, and I'll be showcasing the works of the authors of GMJ Publishing. And at the same time, when it's already okay for people to travel and convene, big gatherings like that, I also plan to also hold my book coaching there and teach some classes in writing, some publishing, marketing, things like that. And not only that, I'll be inviting people for example, I'll be signing up people to attend your sci-fi class or course. So Identity Rosa is coming, from Nigeria. We're gonna pay, and then we're gonna learn. We have this 3 day, something like that, a summit probably. And then at the end of that summit, they already have an outline of what they want to buy.
I'm already having butterflies now.
That's the idea. I really want to invite my writer friends, all over the world. And when it's done, it's you can just imagine coming together. We seldom we cannot even attend the summits or conferences that the other writing groups do. So why not come up on our own, right? So design our own conferences.
What are the kind of courses like you're offering to writers now?
So you're not talking about the Ink Your Legacy courses. All
Yes,
right.
Ink Your Legacy.
There are several that are, lined up for 2021, but I want to start with the fundamentals and the fundamental, which is to write your first book in 2021. Why? Because there are a lot of my friends right now, they're already writing, they already have this compilation of poems or short stories, or, they just want to write their memoirs or we call this motivational books, but they just don't know how. So I told myself, even before I teach about book marketing, I have to teach them, the first thing, just get your book there, write a quality book, and the rest of the courses will follow. There's also another course. By the way, before that, so this is the one that I'm going to offer starting January 10th. So the registration is still open. Slots are filling out fast. I'm so happy about that. They trust me. But the passion is there. My passion is really helping aspiring authors do it right the first time. I mean, do not commit the same mistakes that I did when I had it the first time around. So at least you are several, steps ahead from the rest of those who also are publishing their books. And it's important to be the leader. You call that first mover advantage, and nothing to worry about because with proper coaching you can get it right. The thing that I didn't have before, it's mostly self-taught. So there's also this course about author superstars. This is where I'm going to reveal most of the book marketing, not secrets but strategies, because they're scalable, things that anyone can do, whether you are starting or whether you are way ahead of your games. Just like this year, I signed up for an expensive course on book marketing, but it's paying off. I'm learning a lot, and I realized I should have started doing these things way before I started writing my books. So these are just some of the things that I want to teach the upcoming authors: how to do it right, how to build your author branding, how to build your platforms, how to continuously, and most especially how it's going to make a sale, how you're going to be financially well, if you're going to be here in the long run, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's one thing to write and another thing to make that book sell. And it takes a lot of expertise. It takes a lot of knowledge, information at your one's disposal to be able to get through that. You need an author platform. You need mentorship. You need to know how book funnels work and so many other things. And I think what you're doing is so great, trying to give others a shoulder to stand on. Albert Benson said, I see great things because I stand on the shoulders of giants, and you're already a giant in the field. And I'm a six-time best-selling author on Amazon, and that's no mean feat. And so people have a lot to learn from you. I agree with you. Awesome programs already put in place. I, Gutierrez, is the one to be there to the book coach to meet. And this is a unique platform for you to write your first book in 2021. I think 2021 is just around the corner. She's giving you a platform to do that. A platter of gold. Thank you, Aya, for this. Let me ask one very fundamental question. Why do you think writers out there need you as a person?
Oh, it's
And
like
that's the
the question,
backdrop of your programs.
a Miss Universe question. In life, we need coaches. We need mentors. We have mentors for our spirituality. We have our mentors to help us with our mental and emotional wellness. Mentors to help us be physically well. In the same manner as we need a coach for something that we have still to navigate, things that we don't know. And you said it a while ago. I'm not bragging about what I have achieved, but more than anything else, it's really it's really my desire. This is my passion. I found it. I've been for many years. I stayed away from it because life happens. And I've been to different
Yes.
industries: marketing, advertising, training, and development. But eventually, because when I was young, this was the thing that I wrote on the paper when my English teacher asked us what we want to be. Write your top three goals, and I said that I wanted to study. It's an Ivy League school here. I wanted to study at La Salle University. That's one. The second one is I want to become a writer, and then number three is I want to be a TV host. So I wrote that when I was like 14 years old, and
Hmm.
fast forward to today, I'm 40, but I started about like wait, 37. Yeah, 38, 40, yeah, 3 years ago. 38 when, finally the calling, it's there. And it just came to me like all those years that have happened to me were actually preparation. And more than anything else, more than the technical side of it, I really want to inspire people to ink their legacy because, about our lives here on this earth is just short. A lot of people, they come through here and they pass away and people forget them. I don't want that to happen to me. My personal story is about that because I have an APAS condition. When I got pregnant, there's a certain antibodies that kill the fetus. That's why I had several miscarriages before I was able to before I had my first born, my son. So each time I got pregnant, I had to inject, I had to inject for the next 8 months. I had to take aspirin. It was a difficult journey for me. And, when you had to deliver the baby, it's like, the other side of your life. You're going to die anytime. That's the feeling. So for me, life is so short and it's so precious. And, especially I want to reach out. We have a lot of people we want to help, but specifically, I want to help people who are in their later years in life. You know what I'm saying? That they have, um, it's time for them to leave a legacy to their generations, to their children and their children's children, and then find something good that's so unique about their lives, a certain message, because I believe that all of us, we have, we are different from each other, therefore we are unique. And so the voice, the message is so unique to us. And it's important that you tell the world your story. You tell the world how you lived your life. So that, in marketing term, you call that's my avatar, my client avatar. But it doesn't apply actually to just people who are in their later years, right? But it's applicable to all because we never know when death comes to us. They are knocking on our doors. So yeah, there will be coaches. And for me, just even before this, brother, people just come to me and they want to be coached, and I'm so thankful about that. And having helped about 300 authors, I know exactly the feelings. I know the apprehensions. I know how to lack resources when you're just starting. So I It took me a while. This journey led me to many roads that I was able to discover how to simplify the complex things, things that are difficult. How could I offer this in a very simple manner that is accessible to almost everyone? Yeah, I said a lot.
Hmm. You said a lot. Beautiful. I would like you to, for the sake of viewers out there, your fans out there, can you please read from any of your books if you have them handy? Maybe from Beginnings, from Bards, from the Far East, or Tuesday, or any of the books.
Good thing I'm a Girl Scout. I prepared the books here.
Okay.
Okay, I think I want to read from because I combine prose and poetry here in my book Tuesday. Life is a matter of choice. I co-wrote this with some of the thought leaders in our country, James Osorio Pantone and Armando Boots Bartolome, the franchising guru of the Philippines. Yeah, could you believe that? So we appeared live on a TV show. It's CNN Philippines. It's because they learned about this book achieving the Amazon bestseller, right? So let me just read. All right, what do you want? How okay?
Is
I
it on
want
Amazon?
this book is these are all power words from A to Z. So the three of us chose our power words from A to Z. So for me, I'm gonna choose the word declutter. D for declutter. Would you want me to read it?
Ready.
Okay. Declutter to remove the non-essentials. You are the place you inhabit. Therein lies a secret cavern where 1,000 conversations take place, and an invitation is laid before you to explore the fabric of your subject. But not all are friendly to solitude. When you are mired in the humdrum of routine and boredom, silence is a potent killer. When you choose to play it safe, you will remain in demure, in the company of unwanted grass and thistles. And you will know it's the purest of all actions because the meadows are far stretched out. And you can have the leisure of hopping from flower to flower and marking the blooms that produce the sweetest nectar if you choose to. There is no beauty without empty space. Untangle the knots of your convoluted tapestry and weave back order into your existence. Steer clear from emotional fog. Remove the clogging and clean the drainage of your conscience for inspiration to come. It requires an infallible conduit. Each day proffers a succession of choices that will either advance or diminish your mortal influence. If you bare your soul and open the drawers of your memory one by one, what will you discover? Will you find a rich storehouse or an empty cupboard? And what of your bric-a-brac collection that occupied the biggest share of your limited storage capacity? Let them go. That's it.
Fantastic. Amazing. I picked some keywords from that declutter. You said you are the place you habit, and there's no beauty without an empty space. Wow, lovely lines. That's from Tuesday, right?
Yes, this is Tuesday. I combine poetry with prose. I don't know how would, but they told me those who have read the book, those who have bought it, told me that they like it. So I'm happy.
I love it. I love it. It's inspirational. It gives you motive for action. It tells you what to do at any given time. You need to declutter your mind. You need to create a space for other ideas to flow. You need to empty to take in. Because two things don't occupy the same space. That's in essence what you're trying to convey there. Declutter the mind. A mind that is filled with that or filled with negativity cannot explore, cannot go beyond the boundaries of peace of your perception. So you need to declutter. Beautiful message there. Kudos are you.
Thank you so much. I've been influenced with heavily by Japanese writing. That's why writing haiku, tanka are my favorite poetry forms. It's because it's all about essentialism. It's all about minimalism. Um, the way I live my life is like that. I don't go for the extremes. I'm the kind of person, you know, I can live with one or two pairs of shoes and just one bag, and I can wear the same clothes all over again. I don't really have to go for signature clothes, even if I can afford them. But I spend my money where I can collect great memories, especially with my family and loved ones. That's how I spend it. That's why in the house uh, we have books, but bereft of the luxury that you may otherwise things will see in other people's, elaborate houses. Well, I don't judge them because the kind of life they, for me, the less things that we possess and the more things that we put into our minds, that will give us great dividends in the future. It's all about really investing in ourselves, not just outwardly, but more so what you,
Inward.
yeah, how you nourish your soul. Talk about the mind, how you're going to expand, how to make it work. And then to my brother, when I grew up, I envisioned myself like I don't want to go through this kind of illnesses where you forget, like dementia, things like that. I can avoid that just by keeping myself sharp through the many things that I do. And I think that's the reason why I want to keep myself busy and productive, because I don't want to waste any minute of it. And anytime that I pass from this world, I go to the other side, at least I can tell myself that I live my life to the fullest. I don't want to talk about that, but yeah, that's just how.
Yeah, you need to engage the mind. You need to engage the mind because the more you engage the brain, the more it expands. It's been scientifically proven that the brain expands.
It
So if you
doesn't
don't
go to
engage,
its original dimension, right? Who said that?
that's
Yeah, that's what I.
right. I was going through my motivational training career, one year training period. We had this premium seminars every month, and I read a lot. And I came across a book. Then nature said you need to expand the brain because if you don't expand it by reading, by exercising it, it decays. And as most people die, and if you don't have goals to meet, they just say, "Oh, I've done so much, and so this is the end." And once you tell yourself this is the end, it becomes your end because there's no
Yeah,
more goal to pursue. So you need to expand the brain. That takes me to the next question. Your forthcoming book,
I haven't won the
School.
title. I haven't won the title yet. There are a lot of questions. Am I moving to the next round or something?
Your next book, Cherry School. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my new baby.
Your
Chiaroscuro.
new baby.
I hope the
What is the meaning of Cherry School?
yeah, chiaroscuro is a Italian word for light dark. Okay, that's the literal meaning of it. So it's an old painting technique where an artist would use the light to focus on a certain feature of the thing that he's painting, and then combining shadows, light and dark, to achieve the contrast, so that when you look at the image it's really standing out before you. So I chose the title because I love to read, I love to learn new words. That's why Evocare is also another word that I use for my book, which is to summon. So this one, light dark, I believe in the duality of things, and when it comes to art, when it comes to creativity, there's no such thing as bad or good. You need both. There must be an opposition in all things, otherwise you will not be able to appreciate what is light if there is no dark, right? So that's the kind of poetry that I was able to weave, the verses that I was able to create to show the duality of things. It's really looking at a certain thing and having your own interpretation of it. So that when you look at the moon, you don't say, aha, it's the moon, it's already nighttime, it's about to retire to our beds. But there are people who are invigorated when they see the moon, right? And sometimes when they see the leaves falling, and they say that's the end of it. The leaves fell and there's no life to it. But if you come to think of it, the leaves fell and they nourish the earth, then you know that the leaves are actually recycling. They are alive. So it's how, when you are a poet, that's how you interpret things around you. And for me, it's a crime to say that, that's evil, right? When you see something, because all of us go through certain things. For example, the grief, anger, jealousy. We all go through these emotions, and acknowledging that is one important step for us to understand and to become effective in what we write. Because if you shun off the things that are not, you know, that do not square with your original belief, and you totally block everything out and you just listen to your own self, I think that you're missing the point. You're here on earth to see and witness everything. So you as a writer, you as a poet, your beauty or your goal is to just capture it and let the readers run wild with their imagination. So that's the goal. That's the thing that I want to achieve with this. And thankfully, a lot of people have joined me in this endeavor. A Nobel Prize nominee from Pakistan wrote the foreword, Muhammad Shanazar. Another Romanian award-winning poet, Lorina Jumyatu. She wrote my foreword rather. Muhammad wrote the preface, and then the other writers who participated. And the great thing about Chiaroscuro is that this manuscript is translated into three major languages. Yeah. So you have French, you have Italian, and you have Spanish. So yeah, it's an amalgamation of talents. And I love this are prime, poets. They're also poets, so they know poetry. They just like not the usual translator that forward for word, but it took a while. That's why the intended date for releasing it is actually to honor my 40th birthday, but it didn't happen because my editor Daryl Bars told me it needs more work, and I have to believe my editor. Okay, that's another aspect. When we are writing, this because you are also an editor, that we don't edit our own work. We really need
Yes.
somebody, a
Every
fresh
writer
pair
has a
of eyes.
every
Mhm.
writer has a blind spot, so you need a couple of other eyes to look at what you've done right or wrong, rightly or wrongly. So I agree.
Yeah, so I'm really excited. And I realized I wanted to publish it on February 14, Hearts Day. I want to break the hearts of people. I write romantic poetry. I love, but I'm not really into this, rainbows. And I want to show the other side of love.
What's the other side?
The other side of love is, getting hurt. And when you like in marriage, when you marry your spouse, it's not about changing your spouse. It's about looking him straight in the eye and telling him, you be you and it's okay with me. So let's just compromise and live together happily. But it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of effort on both of your parts, and you're going to see the ugly things in as much as you're going to see the beautiful things. So that's love, right? Marriage is a messy thing sometimes, but if you are bound, with your commitment, and you're gonna make it. I think so because I'm married to my husband in the last 14 years. So,
That's pretty long. Okay. Do you have role models?
huh?
Do you have role models
Yeah, my parents and his parents as well. Yeah.
in the poetry writing field?
Role models, writers.
Yes,
Yeah.
role model writers.
Okay, for me, I actually admire a lot of writers around me because I learn from them. But one person really stands as the quintessential. She's really, uh, I hold her high in the excellence of greatness. Eileen R. Tabios, the Filipino American poet, novelist, editor. You gotta read her books. They're all available on Amazon. Her writing is I don't, how do you describe that? I don't know.
Is
I'm a,
is esoteric?
more than
Way out
that.
there, right?
Yes, yes. She belongs to the order of the gods when it comes to poetry. That's what I can say. And another one, I love a lot of Filipino writers, so I'd like to take this opportunity to mention some of those. Another one is Felix Fojas. He's now also living in the United States, but if you're going to read, it's full of humor. His writing is full of humor and depth. And the other one is our national artist for literature, F. Chanil Jose. And I met him in person, and I had this photo op with him. I gave him my book, and he signed it. So it was so fun. Um, this writer, this one is, he wrote this sad about a Filipino family during the Spanish era. So it's infused with a lot, heavy with political and societal infusions. That's how he writes, and he captures the Philippines during the colonialism time. Those times. I'm so cautious about when I talk because I'm a member of Toastmasters International. So I think some members who are watching me are counting my ah and ums and repeated words. Sorry about that. I don't have a practice lately. I'm not attending the meetings lately. But anyhow, so these are some of the writers that I really, really admire because they're from my country, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud because they are really doing very well in their own spheres. So there you go.
On a last note, what would be your advice to other writers out there, even established writers who are trying to carry niche pieces?
Okay, trust me, education is never over for you, even if you are advanced and you think that you are way ahead of the others. Actually, that's the time for you to recognize that you have to learn more. And fast track, not the jump start, but fast track your success as an author. You got to learn from those who are already successful. That's just how it is. Otherwise, if you're going to be scratching with the turkeys, what I mean by this is if you're doing just like what others are doing, you don't have any system in place, you are not, what I'm witnessing right now in most of the writers that I see is that they focus on just one platform. Everybody is on Facebook. And if you are a poet like me, you join certain writing groups and all of them are poets. So the competition is so tough. It's highly niche. You have to get out. You have to do something else so that they can, you can dominate. That's the thing. That's actually the operative word here is to dominate. You have to be among the top 5%, but it needs a lot of work. I keep saying this because if you have this mentality that, I don't need this, I don't need to invest on anything. I'm okay with, are you sure that you're okay? Because if I ask you how much you're really getting from all your books you have published, that's one measure, right? Some people they say, "Oh, I just want to publish my book," but really, if you're gonna take it seriously, like your career, it's something that you should see as building a pipeline. So for everyone who's aspiring to become a successful author, yeah. So you gotta learn from those people who have been through this. You have to choose your coaches well. You have to choose your mentors well. And at some point in your life, you have to invest in some things because it's just needed. So another thing is you cannot beat quality. Even if you keep training books every month, but they're not quality books. You're not improving your writing. I don't think you're going to lure a lot of people eventually. They're going to give you low scores, people can freely give you reviews and they can attack you on Amazon and other platforms and give you bad reviews. While this will help in a way, even if you have this many reviews, but if you keep getting 1 or 2 stars, that means something is really wrong with your quality, be it the technical quality of the book or your writing. So if it's writing, it's a worst case. You have to do something. So as writers, your main job, main duty is to make sure that what you do. So it's not an excuse that, of course, like Edemtu is a great writer and you can hire ghost writers, but eventually, how do you know if it's a quality writing from a ghostwriter if you don't know, right? So the technical the technical side of it is also extremely important. And remember that you as an author, you as a person, you are your brand. So everything you do, what they see on social media, how you project yourself, the kind of information you bring to the world, this will affect you as an author. So be very careful in everything that you do. Be thought about. It has to be orchestrated so well so that one step leads to another success, not to your detriment, right? So I think I said a lot, brother, but can I take this opportunity as well to invite them to those who are serious about writing their first book in 2021? I'm giving a free seminar, a webinar rather, tomorrow at 8 p.m. That's what time is it there in Nigeria? So, well, India,
Oh,
half hours.
seven hours apart.
Yeah, so it's a webinar. You can just find it, the link on my Facebook, but you can also shoot me an email, gmjapublishing@gmail.com, and then we will give you the link to register. Again, it's gmjapublishing@gmail.com, and we will give you the link to the webinar for tomorrow.
You've heard Ayo Gutierrez. She's inviting you to a free webinar training on writing your first book in 2021. You can join her tomorrow. What time is it? 8 p.m. Filipino time, right?
It's 8 p.m. in the Philippines, UTC plus 8.
Okay. And we are 7 hours apart. Nigeria and the Philippines are 7 hours apart. So you do your maths and you get the right time here. If it's 10 p.m. there, it's 3 p.m. here. So you get the maths. Join us tomorrow. It's been the last 56 minutes. It's been wonderful chatting with Ayo Gutierrez, who is a 6-time Amazon bestselling author, a TV host. I forgot something. Your love story became a telenovela some time back. Maybe you talk about that before everyone happened.
Oh, quickly, yes. Well, I wrote about my love story and posted on Facebook, and it became viral. So the researcher of this longest telenovela show in Asia picked up the story, and they told us that they will feature our love story in one of their shows, and it happened last year, May 18. Yeah, it was so fun. It trended on Twitter. The love story, you can just look it up on YouTube. It's Destined to Love You. Story of Carol and Earl. Carol and Earl. That's ERL. So Destined to Love You. One of the most loved episodes of Maalaala Mo Kaya. Yeah, you can watch it.
Lovely. Ayo and I are co-authoring a book called You Too Can Write. The Beginner's Guide to Writing and Getting Published. Maybe you tell us about it briefly before we wrap up.
Yeah, several months ago, my dear brother Dante and I came up with this brilliant idea of a book. You too can write, because we want to assist those who are starting as writers. And it's taking us a while to write this because we have to really give you the best content, right? Because we don't want to be the we want to give something, a unique offering to all of these writers, the book that will give you the correct guidance, the know-how. Not only that, but the confidence, because Dante is also a motivational speaker. I also do that. So it's a combination of, it's a holistic approach of becoming an author. So watch out for that, because anytime soon, it's going to be out.
Anytime soon, you too can write. The book between Ayo Gutierrez and the Dance of Russia. It's been nice talking to you, my sister. I'm really honored to have you as guest on my show, the Mindfield Publishing Author Interview Series. We've learned a lot from you, from your experience as a best-selling author, from your coaching experience and all that you do in the publishing industry. I'm honored to know you as a person. I'm honored to have you as a friend. I'm honored to have you as a sister. Thanks for being my guest today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. It's been a pleasure. If you want to know more, you can just visit www.inkyourlegacy.com. And thank you so much for giving me this beautiful gift on my 40th birthday. My book was not published today, but you have me here. So thankful for the opportunity. And thank you to all the listeners, to those who watch us tonight. Thank you so much. And I'll see you soon. Talk soon. Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, Ayo. Thank you to all.
Mindfield Publishing, the place where you unleash your creative genius. Write the book you've always dreamed of. Tell that unique story of yours. Mindfield Publishing is a place to be for both online and print publishing. Welcome to Mindfield Publishing Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live Interview. Meet your host, Edentu Oroso, the author of the #1 Amazon bestseller, Titan Ray.